Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Steve's Wrestling Ramble. I apologize, I did not have a second episode of last week. Busy weekend, busy things, working and other situations. Yesterday was my birthday as well, so I was busy all day again with work and then celebrating with friends and family. So I wasn't able to do my second video for the week. Usually, I like to do 2 videos per week and move forward like that. So I did Steve Wrestling Ramble last week, another one this week. So there won't be a second episode or won't be a second video for this week either. I was thinking about doing a live video for the first round of the NFL draft. I'm having a friend over, my best friend, and maybe I'll do that depending on what people want. If people are interested, if people care, you're welcome to tweet at me at talking_Packers or even here at WWE_podcast and let me know if that's something that could be interesting. I know people do that for WWE Payperviews and for NFL stuff like that, like the draft or specifically for their team or whatever. But usually it's the first round, at least. So for people doing live viewing, I know my friend Louis T, the Louis T Network, is doing a live reaction on his own channel of the NFL draft. So I was thinking about doing that, but I don't know. Like I said, it depends on people's feedback and if they'd be interested, and we'll go from there. But like I said, if not, this will be the only video of the week, and we'll go into next week where I will have two videos. One, Steve's Wrestling Ramble with the fallout of WWE Payback 2016 edition, and then also Talking Packers with Steve I'll have next week with the fallout of the 2016 NFL draft subsequently as well. So those will be on the docket for next week. And thank you to those that are new subscribers. In the past week, I've gained a couple. I'm not saying I gained a whole chunk full. I'm not saying it that way in boastful. I think it was 8 people, 8 new subscribers, 6 to 8 new subscribers in the last week or 2 weeks. So I mean that's a positive thing. Thank you to those that have become subscribers, and hopefully word of mouth so others people give this channel a chance. Because I really want this channel to grow in subscribers, as I've said in the past, and I'll say it again, to have more people to be part of the conversation, as I always have in the description of any of my episodes and videos down below. Join in the conversation, be part of the conversation, whether it's while I'm live or what's archived in the comments section or tweeting me at any of the 4 Twitter handles that I have that you want to talk about, whether it's politics or just my personal handle, pro wrestling or NFL. Each one works in their own way. So that's the reason why I want to grow. I like having this outlet, this form of media, to share my thoughts on things, pro wrestling and otherwise. And I also would like to have as many people out there in the universe, in the world, to converse with. Like I said, I'm a nice guy, respectful to everybody's opinion, whether you strongly disagree with something I say in a subject or strongly agree with me or something on a subject. Either way, it makes for a good conversation, and as long as everybody does it respectfully, which I know sometimes on YouTube is hard in the comment section, but it can be done. That's what I would like to have here for my channel. So just wanted to, I guess, bring that up here in the beginning while I have a chance. So at the business at hand, 2016 edition WWE Payback Pay-Per-View. Usually it is Extreme Rules that follows WrestleMania. This year's Payback, me being always looking in the past and wishing things were still there. Not only do I wish Elimination Chamber was still on the schedule of WWE Pay-Per-Views, but in my humble opinion, I wish WWE Backlash was back and was part of the pay-per-view rotation after WrestleMania. Backlash was always following WWE WrestleMania. Start of a new WWE season, Backlash. Now Payback, Backlash, kind of the same meaning, the same idea. So I guess it works out that way. If they keep Payback here, I hope so. But fingers crossed. You never know. WWE, they could change their mind every year. And next year, Money in the Bank is after WrestleMania. As much as that might not make sense, You never know. You never know with WWE, which I wouldn't mind. But hopefully Payback stays. And for this edition, 2016, I think Payback's going to be really well. And subsequently from what we had at WrestleMania and the build to WrestleMania, that being poor. And I've talked about that on this show, or also Main Event Marks. And last week I was a guest on Talking WWE with Jay. I got to make my return there, at least for an episode. We'll see if there will be more. But there I even talked about that as well, how I think Payback, not only on paper, but when it happens, after, everything happens, will be better than WrestleMania, this year's edition of WrestleMania. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see how things are booked, see how the matches go. But just in general, I think that the card that they have assembled now, maybe mix in a couple more matches if they can, fit them in, can make for an pay-per-view, and that's what they really, at least, excuse me, they said in the past they want to build up these lower ranked pay-per-views and grow them. I know I talked about this in the Mark group, which I am a Mark Hall of Famer. Check out Marks for Life YouTube channel, where I got inducted into the Mark Hall of Fame earlier this year. But on the group, youtube.com/group/pro wrestling marks, I talked about that there as well. Not only Payback can be good, it will be better, and it will help to build it up and building up these quote unquote B plus C plus pay-per-views into something better, to have all 12 of them, or 13 depending if they sneak in an Elimination Chamber pay-per-view or event as they did last year. But try to make them all equal in a way. Now you still have the ones that stand out, and the top two being the Royal Rumble and WrestleMania. For a guy like me that's never been to a WWE event in my life, I've been on this earth for over 20 years now, not being to a WWE event of any kind. For me, for my first WWE event that I would want to go to would be well, obviously WrestleMania, the show of shows, the Super Bowl, WWE Super Bowl. But number two, right behind it, neck and neck, Royal Rumble, WWE Royal Rumble. Would always be interesting, waiting, the counting down along with fans there in the stands, fans in the stands, counting down from 10 to who's the next entrant in the Royal Rumble. Would love to do that live. I mean, I do that at home, watching on the WWE Network, which is just $9.99 per month, first month free to new subscribers. But it'd be awesome, be an honor, it'd be cool if WrestleMania can't be my first pay-per-view to go to live, or show of WWE event of any kind to go to live, then Royal Rumble is right behind it, and then behind that would be a Monday Night Raw in Milwaukee or Green Bay, and then fourth would be SummerSlam, and this year being in New York, where my friends, Main Event Marks, that's where they set up camp, as in that's where they live in New York, in the state of New York. And this year again, it will be at the Barclays Center, there in the state of New York, but in New Jersey specifically. So that's cool. But back to Payback, hopefully, like I said, hopefully it stays as the pay-per-view after WrestleMania, and this Payback can be awesome, can be one of a kind, like RVD, I guess. But let's get into my predictions. I will be doing predictions for the next couple of days, to be quite honest, here on my own show tonight. Tomorrow night, I will be on Main Event Marks, as I am each and every week on YouTube. Check out the YouTube channel, Main Event Marks. And then the next following night, hopefully I'll be able to make it for Talking WWE with Jay in their prediction episode. Jay is celebrating 4 years of his show here on YouTube. And then in between time, I'll actually be calling into another wrestling podcast. And near the end of the episode, I'll give the plug for them as well, as I usually do each and every week. But they have a hotline to call in, and I'll be calling in and giving my predictions, or at least some of my predictions, to be part of their episode, which usually drops on Friday. That can be found everywhere, Stitcher, iTunes, and everywhere else. Just search in Google Another Wrestling Podcast, or just check them out on their website, www.anotherwrestlingpodcast.com. www.anotherwrestlingpodcast.com. Check out all the content there. So I'll be giving my predictions out 4 times pretty much, and they will pretty much be the same. If they're different, well, then they're different. But I'm usually good at staying consistent with these things. Try to make a career out of that. So here I go for this, being my own show, Steve's Wrestling Ramble, WWE Payback 2016 edition predictions. Let's start off with the Intercontinental Championship match. I apologize, I'm looking here at the match card. The Miz versus Cesaro, the WWE Intercontinental Championship. You know, I really want to go with Cesaro coming back and the Miz and everything and being a heel, but having the face chase is not a bad thing. It also kind of rhymes, having the face chase. You know, heel being heelish, being the champion, being you know what. You know, it works. You can see it on them, and it helps out the face that is chasing the championship. So as much as I would want Cesaro to win here, I have a feeling that they want to have this, I assume that they want to have this storyline and this feud between those two WWE superstars to go a little further, not just for payback, because Cesaro has no payback for the Miz. I mean, maybe, you know, within how this storyline's growing since after WrestleMania, but not even then. You know, he just came back and now he's part of the Intercontinental Championship because he won in a match against Kevin Owens to get that right. So there really is no quote-unquote payback. Now, I know I'm thinking too much of the word payback, but that is the name of the pay-per-view namesake. You know, some of these things, you know, it works for. And I'll probably be bringing it up again when I'm giving other predictions. That's just the way I think. So in that right way, I'm going to go with The Miz to successfully defend his WWE Intercontinental Championship. I see Cesaro in the end winning the feud and getting the title, but just not on Sunday night. I'm sorry. Just my opinion. So I'm going to have The Miz successfully defending the title. Next match, the WWE Women's, and thank goodness that is the case, the WWE Women's Championship, not the butterfly belt, not Divas, the awesome-looking red women's title. That women's title looks good on Charlotte. Then again, it would look good at any of the women because they're all beautiful, and that title is awesome. The way that it looks and what it represents now with, you know, calling it the women's division, calling them not just divas but just, you know, WWE superstars now, you know, making that equal, having the title pretty much look, you know, obviously it's still smaller, but you know what I mean, somewhat equal to the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. So that's best for business as well. And it really is eye-popping, eye-catching with the title, especially when Charlotte, I think, SmackDown or Raw, or was it this Raw? I don't remember. She was wearing black and the title being red. It really worked there. I don't know. I'm just a little bit about that. But anyways, WWE Women's Championship match: Charlotte versus Natalya. I really would like to see Natalya win the Women's Championship. I would, even if it's just for a night, for a week, for a month, for 2 minutes. I don't care. I would like to see Natalya get as the Women's Champion. But, you know, that would be my heart predicting, just as I, in the past, predicting Dean Ambrose to win matches. And you have Ric Flair in Charlotte's corner, Bret Hart in Natalya's corner. Then again, you heard, or at least some of the WWE Universe heard about Bret Hart kind of shooting off his mouth, and I say that respectfully. I mean, Bret Hart's one of my favorites, but you know, his mouth saying he doesn't even want to be a payback; he just has to be there. I mean, if that's his opinion, that's his opinion. Fine, good that you don't pull punches and you're honest. Okay, good. You know, I like that about you. That's why you're awesome in my eyes, not just because of what you did in the WWE in the past. But that might have been a little too far, and as much as that might not have anything to do with the finish of a match or WWE planning that, it doesn't really help when he's Natalya in that way who works there. And now you're going to be back, you know, backstage with other people that you've dissed and other things the last couple months he has, you know, being always 100% real. But specifically, I think Charlotte's going to successfully defend against Natalya. But like I said, I would mark the heck out if Natalya did win, even if it is going to be for 2 minutes, 2 hours, 2 days, 2 weeks, or 1 month, whatever. It would be awesome. But my prediction will be Charlotte to successfully defend her WWE Women's Championship. Next match, which will actually be the pre-show match, will be the first match of the United States Championship match. Kalisto defending against Jay's non-favorite superstar Ryback. I'm going to have Kalisto successfully defend. I think they're going to have Ryback changing the fact that they've changed his getup, changed his personality a little bit with his character, just shaking things up with the Ryback character a little bit. I think that in time he will be the United States champion, just not on Sunday, just like with Cesaro, just not on Sunday. No, but I'm going to go with Kalisto successfully defending the United States title. I mean, geez, if John Cena comes back and John Cena, tries to get the United States title back, I'm sure it definitely will be on the main card. I'm going to assume that'll be the case. But I guess, again, a Ryback Kalisto match goes on the pre-show. Baron Corbin, a superstar that I've been talking about on my show and the others that I'm a part of. Someone that I thought should be on the main roster earlier. Apologize for that. Should be on the main roster. Should have been on the main roster earlier than he was. But I'm glad he is there now. Now he's going to be facing Dolph Ziggler. Dolph Ziggler being what he is now, but he's still valuable. We still use him to kind of put over the young guys. He takes bumps from them. All that other stuff like a champ. Probably the best in the business, at least in that way. So it's definitely going to make Baron Corbin look good. And that's what I would like to see. So I'm going to go Baron Corbin defeating Dolph Ziggler and with that awesome finisher, End of Days. Next match, the Lunatic Fringe. Dean Ambrose versus Y2J Chris Jericho. Again, I was just talking about this. Jericho comes back. It's over in the town. Dean Ambrose needing to get a win after everything that happened with Brock Lesnar and losing at WrestleMania. And that match just in general being underwhelming, in my opinion. I'm going to go Dean Ambrose over, to defeat Chris Jericho. Becky Lynch versus Emma. A little bit I know about this feud. Actually, I've seen on the WWE YouTube channel. Definitely can check that out. Obviously, just search WWE here on YouTube and find it there. Becky Lynch and Emma. Becky Lynch versus Emma. Again, as a fan of Zack Ryder and all this other stuff, I would love to see Emma win, especially with the past and her changing her gimmick and from what she was when she first was on the main roster with Santino Marella and being a comedy act to now being serious and an ass kicker, now to going one-on-one with the last kicker, ass kicker versus last kicker. I'm going to want Emma to win. And you know what, this time I'm going to go with my heart, I guess, in this way. I'm going to go with Emma making Becky Lynch submit me to lock in that match then. So I'm going to go with Emma over Becky Lynch. Next one, tag team number one contender finals match. We got the Vaudevillains. Excuse me. The Vaudevillains versus Endzone and Cass to be the number one contender. Now, a thing that could be interesting, or could be, I don't want to call it a swerve, it just would be interesting if it happened. You have the number one contendership, let's say the Vaudevillains win, let's just say. And New Day come out there, or the Vaudevillains win to have the title match now, or Shane McMahon, being in power, trying to sway his father, who will be making the announcement, another thing to be added here for Payback. It's not a match, but it's going to be a segment. Vince McMahon's going to pick whether Stephanie McMahon or Shane McMahon to be head of Raw. storyline wise, obviously. Maybe Shane McMahon that comes out gives the WWE fans what they want. I mean, the pay-per-view is in Chicago. You're gonna have to shake things up a bit. You're gonna have the New Day in a match. They should be defending their titles. Otherwise, this would be the second straight WWE pay-per-view where they wouldn't be defending their tag team championships. I mean, come on now, that's certainly not best for business, is it? So maybe the New Day then defends the title right after that, or it's announced for later in the show or something. Maybe this match kicks off the pay-per-view, on the main card, right there at 7 p.m. Central, right at the start, right out the gates. You never know. So that could be kind of cool. And if that is the case, I would predict the Vaudevillains to be the new WWE Tag Team Champions, or if Endzone and Cass win. I just see I just see the New Day dropping the titles at Payback if the scenario does happen and they have a title match on Sunday night. If not, then obviously there's not even going to be a match. But I'm just saying if. But for the number one contender match, my prediction is going to be Endzone and Big Cass to win and defeat the Vaudevillains and be the number one contenders. Next match, Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens. Now this one lives up to the Payback namesake of the pay-per-view. And I'm going to go Sami Zayn defeating Kevin Owens. Not much else to be said. This storyline, this feud is going to will be and should be kept going after WWE Payback, of course. And the final one, the WWE World Heavyweight Championship match, Roman Reigns versus AJ Styles. This could go anywhere. You never know. Anderson Gallows could be siding with Roman Reigns to start this Roman Empire. Or the Bullet Club could reform and be with AJ Styles. Or Finn Balor, who was teasing to the WWE Universe that he was going to be coming on Raw and all this other stuff, but now he might just have been a couple 6 days later. I don't know. He could be debuting on the main roster at WWE Payback after the match, because I'm going to predict Roman Reigns to successfully defend first off. Then maybe after the match, Luke Gallows comes and attacking Roman Reigns, and then out comes Finn Balor out of nowhere, and stare down with AJ and Finn and everything, and what's going on? Or is it now a team of four going to be attacking Roman, and Finn attacks AJ, and Gallows and Anderson turn around and attack AJ as well, meaning their allegiance to Finn Balor. The Balor Club forms or something like that, or the Balor Club forms with AJ Styles as part of it, and they help AJ win the title. But my prediction will be Roman Reigns to successfully defend the title with 2 spears, 1 Superman punch to defeat AJ Styles there. I'm just checking here, seeing if there's any other matches that were announced or could be announced here. That's pretty much it with obviously with the Payback card. But like I said, I think this pay-per-view can certainly be a good one. I mean, I don't see it being anything but that. Not really much to say about Raw. I was going to give a review of Raw, but I missed part of it due to birthday celebrations and stuff. So all that I did see was from the WWE YouTube channel, the highlights and such. It looked interesting. I'm not saying it was a bad show. I just missed it live, most of it due to that. I'm just checking, making sure I didn't miss any episodes. I mean, matches. I apologize. Matches on the card. Nope, that's everything. Okay, well that concludes it. I guess I can also predict or assume what Vince McMahon's going to say, and that's probably going to be either the swerve of somebody out of nowhere being in charge of Raw because he can't trust Vince or not Shane or Stephanie, or the swerve of he's just saying, you know what, if you can't have someone else do it yourself, sort of thing. Him being in charge of Raw, since he is the owner anyways, de facto in charge anyways. Or it will be this whole brand split idea that I was hoping would come back. But again, we'll certainly see how things go. But like I said, you can check me out on Twitter at WB_podcast. Check out Main Event Marks tomorrow night here on YouTube, and then Talking WWE with Jay on Thursday night. I don't know if the Talking WWE with Jay episode will be live, but either way, if it is live, it should be starting around 7 p.m. Central. And if it's not live, it should be able to be on the channel by 9 p.m. Central. And then also check out another wrestling podcast. There are some content. They have an episode that will be dropping on Friday at some time. On Friday that will be dropping. That will be their prediction episode and talking all things WWE Raw and otherwise another wrestling podcast.com. Can follow me on Twitter at a wrestling pod. They're on Twitter. Credo and JB, those two. Being awesome. Like I said, in between these other shows I'm part of live here or otherwise here on YouTube, I'll be calling in on their hotline to give my quick thoughts and some predictions for WWE Payback 2016 edition for their show. That's pretty much everything. Thanks for those watching live and those that will be watching archive. Welcome to give this this video a like. Welcome to subscribe if you're not subscribed. And hopefully Payback will be as good as advertised. And as always, take care.